Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Haydee. So it turns out I had to use a walkthrough to figure out what I was doing wrong. And basically this blue section is just not a section that you can do at this time. In fact, so much so that really what I should do is load in a different save file and start over, or arguably start the whole game over, because I actually need my health to be higher than it really is, and I need my bullets to be higher and then what they are, which is to say I don't think I have 12 shots in this gun still, but maybe I do. Let's see. Let's see. So I needed to have done this green section, which has been kind of the bane of my existence, and I need to take out both of the robots. Well, so much for that. Alright, so this is loading basically an hour ago as far as where I am. This was right after I learned that you have only 5 saves on softcore when you find those first 5 floppy disks. Yeah, everything I did in the blue area was pointless. I could run back to the blue area to get a save file if necessary, but it's probably not super necessary. I need to get like 4 headshots on the slasher. I don't think that's the slasher that the reticle is turning into a red dot. And I need to kill this. And see, yeah, this is a health kit, not a bullets. What I basically needed to have done is I needed to have I'm about to die. That up, use that, refill health. I needed to have not shot the boss, the monster in the tutorial white area at all. Just run around it and save some bullets there. Here we have a remote Wi-Fi. We get into this area, and this was the area that was driving me crazy also, because I just could not figure it out. I don't know why that's specifically locked, though. A significant amount of playing this game feels like it is somewhat reminiscent of a Resident Evil 1 game, or a game where you just would have to play perfectly and then start over again if you make any mistakes. So I was trapped in this room, and I thought you were supposed to shimmy from that and do a backwards jump to reach your goal. It's not quite that. It's instead you shimmy from this over to that. And I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna work. But that's what the walkthrough is saying, is that you're supposed to be able to shimmy, perhaps with the gate locked. That makes that easier somehow. Nope. Perhaps it's not so much a shimmy as it is a come over here, turn around, and just walk over here. Oh. Well, it's pretty obvious why that's so confusing. Well, that's not something I would have thought of. The whole game, it's kind of breaking its own logical established settings. Here's a place where you want to be careful not to fall to your death. There's breaking the rules, and then there's just confusing the player. And see, that's like half your health there. So I may not actually make it to the end of this game. Like, that there may just be too much frustration around wasting time and having to start all over again. If this game had checkpoints, I could do this. I know I could do this. But if you're going to give me fall damage, which this game totally should not have fall damage in it, there's obviously if you fall into the void you should die, but I am confused. That seems blatantly obvious what you're supposed to do, and yet that's not working. Let me just double check the walkthrough, I guess. Butts and busts alone do not make a video game. This probably highlights why you should not make a hardcore lewd adult game too, is because that's contradictory. Like, people who are looking for something lewd are probably not looking for much of a challenge. Okay. Jump and grab. There's possibly a grab button on the controller that it's possible that this game is just not designed really for a controller. Anyways, see, like, jump is A, and I was thinking holding A would be the grab button. 2. See, jump is left shift on the keyboard. So yeah, unless this is just like a last second, you have to really wait for it, and I guess that's exactly what that is. yeah, so we are now here, and you can grab this here. Am I doing this wrong? Oh man, I think I am doing this wrong. So this would have just gotten me doing all that, would just allowed me to go back this way. So why is it important to potentially go back this way? Because I needed to hit this button, and I guess you can see maybe that the gate is now locked. I don't think a lot of players would have figured that out on their own without a walkthrough. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if I finished my thoughts, so I'll just say it again. I really just don't think somebody who bought a game that wants to just see a bunch of butts and boobs wants to be frustrated with platforming and no checkpoints and limited resources. That all just seems like that is a different kind of player, and there's probably very little overlap of people who want to play something that is as difficult as Resident Evil 1 or dare I say even Dark Souls, and also wants that instant gratification. I personally think I would be much happier with if I was going to play a hardcore game like Dark Souls, just having a mod to show nudity, if I was going to go for that direction. And for this game, I would prefer to just see more compromising situations and silly costumes for Haydee. So here's a thing that kind of looks like a sex toy, but is in fact your Wi-Fi remote access point. So each of these items you're finding are fairly important items. Now, much like the screwdriver, Wi-Fi access point possibly is not something that will run out, but I'm not 100% certain on that either, so wouldn't want to be too flippant on using it. That doesn't unlock this chest, though. And you kind of need the body armor on the whole time. Okay. Interesting, the game here is now, you now have a remote receiver and so you have to place it, and then you have to do that to remote trigger it. So I guess the question is is there any way I could get that remote receiver back and use it again? I don't think there really is. Come on. There's no way you would have enough bullets for that room. I am just... I guess I walked through a scanner of sorts. I guess I am forever going to be behind the curb in health and in bullets. Alright, we've got some yellow blocks that I guess are sliding in and sliding out. And you can only really jump one height upward. Is there any real benefit? Around doing this? I mean, that does seem like that is the trick. So let's just see if the gate possibly resets. I don't think it does. Just be real careful here and grab this ledge then. We are making progress, and I do appreciate that because I was definitely stuck. But I do have some real concern as far as whether or not I'm just working my way through areas that I really shouldn't go to, and that there really is only one proper way to play the game. Most games these days don't follow that kind of mentality of there being a real walkthrough type game that you really have to have the walkthrough and be able to solve it. Interesting. According to the walkthrough I see, there's basically a path to the left and to the right of this. Also. If we got the Wi-Fi, the remote device, and that cycled backwards, I guess we now maybe have a shortcut, but we don't have the solution that we really need. That door is just permanently unlocked, and as far as I can tell, there's probably nothing else in this area. So I think I'm effectively screwed. Yeah. I need to find some bullets. There doesn't seem like there's a lot of places where you can get bullets. I need that room empty of enemies, and there's no default like melee, you've run out of bullets, but it's going to be difficult type fight mechanic. Which that would help if she could just push over the robots or stealth kill the robots. Anything like that. That would be fine. As a... Man, the buttons are totally in the wrong place. But, yeah. Interesting. I didn't know you could be knocked down and then die. The trick here, I think, is going to come down to starting the whole game over. I think that's probably all we can really do. Yeah, and then the game just crashed when I tried to load possibly the same load file again. Let's launch that again. There we go. What I probably want to do, and I hate to have to admit this already, is just look at a walkthrough and just kind of see how much game is left. It seems like there is quite a lot of game left. If there is the entire blue section, which is kind of like the final area, and we just don't have the items that we would need to solve that. And then there is this green section, which I think we've kind of done a lot of that. And then there's a black section that we haven't seen, and a red section that we haven't fully engaged with. Like, all we really have done is the white section. But I am dangerously getting to a point where it's going to boil down to figuring out how to struggle through this by getting more bullets, which there we go. There's some more bullets, 10 bullets it looks like. Or it's going to be start the whole game over again from the beginning. And I don't know if I can justify doing that. I could see just instead rage quitting the game and being done with it. I think in a lot of ways I could say we've already had the commentary that you could make on this game. It's been made as far as, yeah, it's an experience. Certainly, if you like butts, you might have enjoyed this game. Although, honestly, that's not really what I get from this experience so much. More what I'm getting from this experience is, if you like butts and you really hate and you really love challenging gameplay, yep. And I guess you just cannot get into that crate area unless the game at some point gives you a Unless somebody gives you a double jump. Just doesn't seem like you could jump over that. My gun now has 12 shots in it. We have 3 extra shots. Basically cannot miss. And like if you just had a checkpoint right now, seems like that's weird. Yeah, seems like you cannot safely potentially drop down this area. Seems like you'd have to run and jump and then crawl down, and you really would want a safe spot. Let's see. This. One, two, three, four. We have another Haydee robot. Now we've taken some damage. We had to do that to open this door. And continuously we're running into locked crates. And I don't get why they're locked. That just seems like that's particularly unfair of the game to lock a crate on us. At some point, I already know the walkthrough has spoiled it for me that there is night vision goggles. So that's gonna, I imagine, help. I cannot see anything. I can't even get the camera in the right angle to potentially see something, if there's supposed to be something here. I have no idea. I have no idea where I am and what I'm doing. Yeah. So we're working our way around areas. But what sucks about this is it does just kind of seem like we are going like directly back. We're gonna have to go directly back to where we were before. To find a space to save, because I am not finding a safe spot otherwise. Can I crawl up at the top here? Interesting. I thought I could get up there. Is that a path? Seems like it is. But this ledge here, which seems to exist kind of for no reason, doesn't lead towards anything. Could heal myself and probably is worth it. We'll wait until I take some fall damage though. Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to wrap it back around and if this is just supposed to be a place where you can see that that is open. I don't think we took any fall damage there, but we would fall to our death here, so it does just kind of seem like you don't have a choice. You've got to probably crawl down this way. Alright. So I'm guessing oh, there's a whole gold key. So you definitely needed to get that. I'm guessing that there's something up there. So we have to crawl again through the darkness. This way. I may be basically doing everything that you can do in this area. Yeah, you can't actually reach that edge. Let's just walk back this way and see if we can get through it that way. Honestly, I don't think you can work your way back downward inside there. Not easily. So we'll just go around a second time. I guess part of the question here I have to ask, as far as ways I think this could been improved, is if there could have been something in the room with the two robots that was extra but not necessary. Because if that was the case, and nope, that does not open. Although maybe the remote unlocker would open chests. But yeah, had there been extra yet not necessary, let's see if we can equip that way, then yeah, I do wonder if the remote unlocker is the thing. So this guy, this is where we died before. And this is where we died now. This time by clicking on it. So yeah. We are back once again. We've learned more. This really is one of those games where Did you learn something? If you did, that's how you make progress in the game. This isn't too off of the concept of Dark Souls itself, where you are learning something each time you die. Right. Arguably, some of these rooms that are platform rooms should be on the edge of the maps instead of central areas that you're going to have to do multiple times if you're going to punish the player like this. Of course, you could have also just made this room have a floor, remove fall damage, which I'm going to continuously beat the drum on that thought. Softcore is a misnomer in the description of this difficulty setting. But yeah, had you just added a floor and removed fall damage and then made it so there was a ladder that you climbed up, or stairs that you climbed up to get back to the beginning if you fell, and you couldn't get anywhere else if you fell, this would be a fine room. But as it is built, it totally is not acceptable. And so I guess that's my hope, is that as they're working on potentially making a Haydee 2, a game more polish and more of a introspection happens as far as the development of a Haydee 2. Almost certainly you would expect that this player, the person who made this game, this team or this individual, I'm not sure which, like almost certainly you would expect them to have been surprised by how much this game sold. This really would have just been a Steam Direct game that would have gotten a small niche fandom and that was it, but it happened to hit the right time at the right point to catch YouTube streamers' attention, and so a bunch of people highlighted this game and gave it more attention than perhaps it deserved, or as much attention as it actually deserved, which is to say other games just don't get as much attention as they deserve. There is a large imbalance, certainly, between games that come out that deserve coverage and games that get coverage, either from small independent video game critics like me, or mainstream video game critics that are funded and act as full organizations with multiple reviewers. Of course, there are also small independent video game critics that are also funded, and they act like they're small and independent, but they have multitudes of potential income revenues or connections that probably should be disclosed and often are not disclosed. There's a high percentage of YouTuber content creators and YouTube channels that pretend like it is just one or two people making the show and there is a whole production company actually behind it. And see, I would save once I've gotten these bullets, but I don't have any save files. So I think what's gonna save me here is I probably need to hold left bump and the D-pad, by the way, to equip this. So now I have 12 shots. I probably need to have play this off screen. That would be my thought, certainly. It's just start over again, make a save file that is in about the same place, that's made about the same progress. Like, if I could just kill this room, I feel like you would have some level of safety. I haven't killed the slasher. He's still here. It's just apparently I'm not walking close enough to trigger him. 1, 2, 3. Actually, that was like 3 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have 4 shots. But save file and health kit. And we are definitely hurt enough to use a health kit. How do we use a health kit? X? Yep. So potentially a remote activation on this would let us through this gate. There's a pattern or a alarm over there. We have some buttons, and I guess we are probably playing a bit of a match the color trick. Okay, so we want yellow and white. So we're not quite there. Yellow. There we go. That opens that. Great. So now how do we get up there? Doesn't seem like you can get up there. So we've just opened probably a shortcut. And there's no gate around this to start. We still can't open this. We do this. We do this. Then we ignore that. And then we do this. Seems like we probably are going to come back to this whole area a second time, unless the remote unlock actually starts to work on this. Okay, nope, we can't just do that. We've got to climb through this first. And while this is like the 5th time we've done this, it allows us to do this time without any damage. Much like the Vagrant, though, I have to admit that at this point in the game, seeing the butts, seeing the cleavage, or the bust, not, there is no cleavage, it's just not very satisfactory. It's becoming very normalized. This is kind of the problem, where you're in that mushy middle of content. Like you're not showing anything hardcore as far as actual genitals and actual penetration. We're not even really showing anything softcore as far as actual nudity or actual, even groping. So then you just have something. And it's worth pointing out that there are women out there that have big butts and big breasts, and by the time they're like 2 or 3 years past puberty, they're already tired of being only seen as having big busts and big breasts, and they sadly have to either get reductions, or which is dangerous surgery, or have to just live with it for the entirety of their life. That is the first thing people see. Of course, there are other instances of people having like major noticeable physical traits. But yeah, so while it is often fun to be well endowed, it can also be fairly annoying. Right. Let's go ahead and put that there. Okay. Do we still have our full health? What's kind of funny is a game called the Callisto Protocol just was released as of me recording this, and it is based off of Dead Space, and in Dead Space you have a health bar on your back, much like the health bar on the back of the head of Haydee here. But in Callisto Protocol, for some reason, they really opted to make the health bar very small and difficult to see. So you'd have to be in here for it to remotely activate. So is there any way at all that you could take it with you? Not that I can imagine. And I guess the idea is that that room basically is trying to teach you the same idea of going around and hitting the buttons twice in different orders. But yeah, your remote unlock does not work on chests, and it does not work on... Let's see, do we have save files? Yeah, we do. Do I want to save the game at the moment? I kind of do. Like, this is a decent amount of progress, so just don't fall to your death at the moment. Pressure is on. Don't fall to my death. Get to the save spot. Save. Clearly there aren't that many save spots in the game if we're having to run back. But I almost died, I feel like, there. At the very least, if we make it to the save spot and save, we're wasting a save. The danger here is that you would just soft lock yourself, and many hours into the game you would I guess you have to actually equip this. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new save too. Right. I think I overrid it anyways because well, either I didn't save at all or I overwrote the game. Let's see. I guess I did save, but I overwrote it with the same save name, so you have to make a new save name. Okay. So I will take that under consideration, and at some point our inventory will get so big that it'll make sense to drop some of these. Well, we are definitely in a weird position. I am pretty much going to have to spoil myself going forward in the game because there's just too much of a danger as far as going the wrong direction. Now that we have a remote wireless thing, maybe we could detonate that remote mine. Otherwise, I still don't know really how to defeat that mine, and that there may just be an item that I don't have, and that's where I really need to look at the walkthrough and just say, is this the right direction to go, or is this just a total dead end? Unlike a Metroid game, you're not running into doors that are quite locked behind abilities, and it does seem like it is allowing you to potentially wander into areas you just can't access. Now that I do have the remote activation device, I wonder if at some point I would be able to remotely activate the blue button in the blue area that I spent an hour on, and then get through that gate. But maybe not. We'll just have to see. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. I'm not very confident we're going to make it all the way to the end in this game, but we'll see. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.